update on the flooring of my bus. I'm in the final phase, which is installing the final floor tiles. Under the tiles, of course, it's plywood. In some areas, there are heating elements on top of the plywood and just below the final floor tile. Under the plywood is 2 inches of compressed foam board with an R value of 10. So the heating elements, you may decide to use these in your bus if you're doing a build, and I'm using them to supplement my mini split and diesel heater, and these will be located in areas where the airflow may not be really good. Like this will be a sofa by day, and by night it'll open up into a bed, and there'll be a curtain that can be pulled around the bed to give my guest privacy. But when you have a heavy curtain, sectioning off a part of the bus, obviously warm air can't get inside of it. So this will supply heat to my guests. Other parts of the bus back there, that be under the bathroom floor, and when you step in or out of the shower, the floor will be nice and warm. So quick thing on these heating elements. They are, I think, the safest option for buses. There's other models out there that have a wire or wires that snake back and forth across the floor, and the wires, of course, are thick, and you can feel them. And if you're walking on top of that, they could move and eventually fracture the wire and could become a fire hazard. So the ones that I'm using are completely encased in a very thick plastic, and this is like an ink. It's a black ink, and it conducts electricity. So the underside of it, you see the silver conductive element. Same with over here. So one side's positive, one side's negative, and these the heat conductors run between, and there's no lump. They're all solid. It's all one uniform thickness, and it's very, very flexible, which is good. What they don't tell you is that every heating element at the end of it or at the beginning of it is where the wires connect to it. And these are about the thickness of a silver dollar. And of course, it's where the electricity comes into the panel. So their videos don't show you that. So I had to kind of realize as I'm into laying all this out that how am I going to deal with these big lumps, because they can't be out in the middle of the floor. They'll raise up, and they'll be, over time, they will be damaged and become a fire hazard. And it tells you that in their instructions. Again, it's not in their videos, it's not in their pictures. So when you order this stuff, you don't know that you're going to have to deal with every heating strip is going to have to start or stop with a wall or a cabinet. So here's going to be a 2x4, the base of a wall. And so I'm going to cut notches out of the bottom of the 2x4 to accommodate these raised up areas, and then the wires will be snaked throughout the wooden frame of the bus, as would any electrical wiring. So again, a great option. Just you need to be aware of that particular aspect. And quiet warmth, radiant heat. I bought these through Amazon. So the tiles themselves, these are what they call a luxury vinyl tile. They are very, very thick. They're very, very durable, and they are waterproof. So here's the brand that I picked at Home Depot. They're somewhere in the mid-price range, around $2 a square foot. Totally waterproof, and they have their own backing. So all you have to do is lay them on the floor. And notice that they're flexible. They give and take a little, which is one thing that I was looking for with my bus, because we drive over bumpy roads, because we drive over unequal terrain where our buses may twist a little bit, even though it's a solid, rigid frame. We all know the bus floor can torque a little bit as you're going over unequal terrain. So these tiles should flex nicely and not crack or break. So final note is, you may notice there's areas where there's grout. Why is there grout if these are supposed to snap together? And the answer, I'm not sure which it is. I don't know if my technique is not what it should be. I don't know if You know, where I started, my bus wall is not completely straight. This is unlike a Bob Villa video where, you know, when Bob does something, in 20 minutes, he'll build a house and everything goes perfectly. Everything fits and everything is square, plumb, and level. Well, buses are not square, plumb, and level, I'm finding out. And so to deal with, you know, these uneven areas, I'm simply filling unequal areas with grout, and then I will sand it down, get rid of all the excess, and then I'll coat the final layer of the floor will be with polyurethane. So I'll be using a very flat, matte surface type polyurethane. I don't want to use gloss because barnwood would look kind of weird being really glossy. So I want to give it kind of a rustic finish. And so I'm using, it's very matte, flat finish. And I'm going to put 4 layers on. So that should work out well. And hopefully the next video will be of a completed project.